For years, one of the most exclusive luxury resort brands in the world refused to do all-inclusive in Mexico. No packages, no bundled pricing, just a la carte dining and everything charged separately. Then, just 6 weeks ago, that changed. We're talking about Waldorf Astoria Riviera Maya, tucked between the mangroves just minutes from Cancun, with 173 oceanfront rooms and a reputation that already puts it among the top-rated resorts in the area. Now, for the first time, the brand is combining its 5-diamond service with an all-inclusive package, and that changes everything about how you plan a trip here. Today, we're breaking down exactly what's included, what's left out, and whether it's actually worth the price. Stick around because what you're about to see isn't covered in any other review. The moment the car pulls up to the lobby, something shifts. There's none of that typical Cancun resort buzz. Here, silence is part of the design. The lobby opens straight towards the ocean, with soaring ceilings and materials that echo the region's limestone, and your first real view is the Caribbean framed between columns, as if the entire property were built around that single sightline. It doesn't feel crowded. 173 rooms is a small number for a property this size, and you can feel it in how people move. Slow, unhurried, like the pace of the place has already caught up with you before you even check in. But the real surprise isn't in the design. The resort is built within protected mangroves, and to avoid disrupting the wildlife, architects added aerial crossings so monkeys can move between the trees without touching the ground, plus underground passages so fish, amphibians, and turtles can keep moving as if the resort weren't even there. It's the kind of detail almost no guest expects to find at a property like this. And once you get to the room, the surprises keep coming. Several categories come with a private plunge pool on the terrace, starting with the swim-up rooms, which open directly onto their own private pool at 675 square feet, up to the Riviera Maya suites, which top 1,000 square feet with a separate living room, a dining area, and a spa-style bathroom with its own soaking tub. The beds are dressed in fret linens. There's a built-in speaker, a walk-in closet, and on the higher tier rooms, either an ocean-front balcony or a private plunge pool terrace, the kind of detail a lot of guests don't discover until they've already spent a full day without leaving the room. Before we wrap up, I'll leave you a practical resource with more details on the resort, tour ideas, and a clear way to plan your trip before you book. The dining lineup follows that same slow reveal approach. Malpec, the signature restaurant, works fresh seafood with smoke, char, and open fire techniques. Nothing close to generic resort dining. Chaya serves breakfast and lunch with ingredients sourced from local purveyors, and Jao reinvents the classic Mexican cantina. Catch-up-a-day tacos, ceviche, small plates, and churros in a setting that feels more street food cool than five-star resort. For beach days, there's the poolside palapa serving light bites and tropical cocktails, plus the lobby bar running from morning coffee all the way to the last nightcap. This is one area where guests consistently say the resort really stands out. The service at every one of these spots feels personal, almost like they already know your order before you say it. Resort life doesn't stay on the beach either. The spa, at almost 40,000 square feet, works Mayan healing traditions you don't usually find at a resort in this category. The Yaxche journey and the Melipona honey ritual use local plants and stingless bee honey, built around hydrotherapy circuits, a sauna, and ice fountains. For a lot of guests, this ends up being the single biggest surprise of the whole stay. If you're into destinations like this, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next hidden gem or exclusive deal we've got for you. Beyond the spa, there are painting, sculpting, and macrame workshops with local artisans, tequila and Mexicol tastings, and for kids, Mayan-themed treasure hunts and cookie-making classes. At night, a live band plays near the lobby bar, and that's where the day's pace finally slows down all the way. If the budget allows, the real jump is the presidential suite. Multiple balconies, a private plunge pool, a soaking tub, a pool table, and a private library, plus its own screening room. This isn't a room built for sleeping, it's built so you never have to leave it. Booking ahead is key if you're after this category, since it's the first to sell out during peak season. By the end of the day, what stays with you is the sound, wind moving through the mangroves, the distant echo of the ocean, and a kind of silence that never feels empty. It's a slow, almost hypnotic rhythm, and it sets up the question that actually matters. With the new all-inclusive package, does it still feel like the same level of luxury? If you're enjoying the video, let me know with a like and share it with someone who needs a vacation this good. And that's where the most important question of this video comes in. How far does that all-inclusive package actually go? And is it worth paying for? We're not here to sell you anything. We're here to tell you what guests actually experience. This resort holds a 4.8 out of 5 rating on TripAdvisor and a 9.3 out of 10 on Booking.com. Read through the reviews and a clear pattern shows up. Juan Pacheco and Servando come up again and again. Juan, who works breakfast and the pool service, gets called a true ambassador for the brand by multiple guests. Servando, over at Chaya, gets singled out across different reviews for making every breakfast feel special. What guests praise most is the personalized service and the suite design. Every bit of flavor is worth what they charge, one guest said about the food. But there are 3 things worth knowing before you book. Sargassum shows up in several reviews, so it's worth checking the local seaweed forecasts before locking in your dates. The all-inclusive plan doesn't cover every restaurant on the property. Some meals under the package are served at the Hilton's sister property next door, just a couple of minutes on foot. So it's worth confirming directly with the resort exactly what's included. And the a la carte restaurants run pricey, even by the brand's own standard. So if you're not on the all-inclusive plan, budget separately for meals. It's not a perfect resort, but for anyone after quiet luxury, flawless service, and now the comfort of not worrying about the bill, it's one of the best options you'll find in the Riviera Maya right now. Before we close out, I'll leave you a resource to help plan your trip better so you're not stuck searching everything separately. On our website, you'll find the full review of this resort, practical tips before you book, and a few recommended excursions in the area, many with flexible cancellation. The goal isn't to tell you where to book, it's to help you compare more clearly based on your dates, your budget, and the kind of trip you're after. Scan the QR code on screen or use the link in the description. Rates for 2 people start around $440 a night in low season, and the top-tier suites, like the Presidential, can run several times higher depending on availability. So, what did you think? Let me know in the comments if you've already stayed here or if it's on your list. And if you want to keep exploring the Riviera Maya, the next video is already waiting for you.